I'm on a window ledge. It's a wide window ledge today. Oh, welcome, first of all. Welcome to Be in the Garden. I trust you're well. I certainly am. I'm on this window ledge, and my task today is to remove all these unwanted plants, aka they can be referred to as weeds, and I am going to plant a succession of flowers here, starting with some tulips, and then we'll see what will come next. So I'm just going to start clearing the space of weeds first of all. Okay, so I've mostly gotten rid of the unwanted plants. They will be put into a compost, so they will be utilised in a different manner. However, I have prepared this huge window area, and it's just underneath their kitchen window, which is fabulous. It's actually quite a large space. In terms of size, I'd say it's approximately 5 or 6 meters squared actually. A little deceiving, but we're going to fill this, absolutely fill these with amazing tulips first, and then some other flowers throughout the season. But I'm just giving you a bit of an update. So far so good. I've got some all-purpose compost, and I'm just going to top it up so it's as level as possible. I've got to be mindful of the drainage areas, and then I'm going to throw some bulbs on there. So I'm just topping up with some all-purpose compost. If you remember, in an early video I showed you this very plant, Phormium, and tricolor it is, New Zealand flax, but I have been instructed to remove this from this position, and instead I'm going to plant some of the same bulbs that I'm going to plant up on the window balcony area. Some of them I'm just pulling, and some of them are being snapped out. Unfortunately, they will go into composting, but fortunately, for some areas, they are being pulled out with some roots, and so I will trim these down and pot them on, and in no time we'll be able to regrow some of this. So yes, a lot of it appears to be not making it, but I have many down here with the roots, and I will pop those on and be able to create some new plants from this plant here. So I'm just going to pull this out. Some with roots, I'll plant them on. So fortunately I am getting quite a lot with roots, and I'll just plant those off as individual plants. Okay, so that was not easy, but the Phormium is out. Some will go to compost, and I'll make a new home with these ones where I was able to take them out with the roots. That's what it's looking like now, an empty bed. I'm going to top it up with a little compost next. So I'm going to plant in here a mixture of things, I think. I'm going to have this as the undercurrent, as the undercover, these beautiful Hellebores. They are winter flowering plants. I will also add into there the tulips, which will come around April, and the theme is going to be yellow bulbs, so I'll plant a series of yellow tulips. If you're looking for the particular ones, these are their names. And then I'm also going to plant Ligularia, the yellow. They'll come a lot later in the year, however. So that's what I'm just going to do in this particular bed. Oh, and I nearly forgot, how dare I? We're going to plant. So it's going to be a beautiful flower bed in here. And there's also one poppy, if I'm not mistaken. Here she is, an oriental poppy. It's called Royal Wedding. But that's the white poppy. I'm going to plant that in this bed here. So I'm just going to get on with that for now. When planting bulbs, it is a good idea just to double check and make sure that they are firm, like an onion, if you like. Otherwise they'll just rot away. These will come back year after year. However, sometimes the squirrels get to them, or they can also rot away, unfortunately. But just try and press them and make sure that they are firm when purchasing bulbs. Bulbs are normally planted about twice the depth of their height. So whatever height they are, about twice that above them will be sufficient. When I'm planting bulbs, I like to sort of what they call neutralize them, which is literally just to throw them in and see where they land. Wherever they land, that's where I'll plant them. Bit of a roll of the dice. Okay, so continuing on, as you can see, the compost is down, and I brought up onto this level some of the plants that we're going to be putting in this space here. It includes the beautiful, beautiful hellebore. We've got the Ligularia. We have got Boston ivy here, and we've got hundreds and hundreds of yellow tulips. So that's what we're going to be planting today. When I say we, I mean me and him. Okay, so we're going to get to work, okay? It's a very precarious place. There is a safety element involved up here because we are a floor up. So we're just going to take our time. So we have very limited space here. Hold on, viewers. Thank you for your patience. Very small space up here. What we have managed to do is dig a small hole, and we're going to lean this plant, the Boston ivy. We're going to lean it in towards the building. We're going to remove these plastic things though. Can you help me snap those off? And because they're plastic, we need to make sure we put them in the dustbin, the recycle bin. So we don't want it to pollute the environment. So what we're putting up there is this. Parthenocosis quinquefoliae, or Virginia creeper, deciduous. It will lose its leaves, but we're going to put this onto this building, which has got some amazing brickwork, but there's so much of it. Oh, that's absolutely fine. What we're going to do is lean it in towards the house, actually. What I will do is creep up onto this wall and create a softer effect along the building. That's our intention, to go along this brick wall, just to soften this area. So it's a little tangle, we're just gently unwrapping that, that's it. And then we're going to lean this towards the house. So what we need to do now is, believe me when I say this corner here is a very tight space, we're going to lean this towards the house. Does that make sense? And then we're going to cover it with compost. So we're going to make sure the branches, we need to make sure this makes contact with the house. Okay, so now what we need to do, mister, we now need to get the bag of compost and put compost on here, okay? It's just such a tiny corner. cover those plants up. Careful, careful. No, you need to dig a hole, please, for that. And then cover it with some compost. There's a bulb out there. We need to cover that with compost. Look what we're going to keep. The moss that covers this is like a beautiful sponge carpet. And Hugo agrees with me that this is just so beautiful. I'm actually going to take this and see if I can put this around something somewhere. Not sure where it will go, but we're definitely going to keep that. Beautiful. Okay, so if I do the camera, you're going to plant this. Well, what we're dealing with... Okay, I'll take over. What we're dealing with is a very shallow rooftop area, but we're going to put this on the slant. Yeah, do you want to take it out the container? Do you remember how we do that, if you like? Oh, well, yeah, wellies are good. We can kick it off. Yeah? Or we can try and squeeze it.
Oh, yeah.
Or, yeah, that's it. Or if you lay it down on its side, actually, now squeeze it with your wellies. Oops, that's it. Squeeze it around there. Now see if you can get it out of the pot. There we go. That's it. If you hold the plant and I will... Ooh, this is... We don't want that in there. Let's see the bottom bit. Yeah, it's a little bit root bound at the bottom here. It's just giving us a little problem. Okay, let me put this camera down. This bit will be up so this can lean into the house. That makes sense. Lean into shallow. That's it. It's going to lean that towards the house. And then again, as before, we're going to put some compost all around it and take the green labels off, yeah? Right, we've managed to unravel that tangle, that Boston ivy. And what we're going to do now then is lean it more towards the house and sort of break the top surface down slightly. Does that make sense? Sort of. So the roots. That's it. And then we're going to backfill this with compost. So that's going to climb, make its way up this part of the house. Okay. Now we've got one more to plant of the Boston ivies. Just teasing out some of the soil here. It's quite a robust plant. I think it will forgive me. So that will do its climbing this part of the building. This is a pathway along here, so nothing will stay in the pathway actually. And then maybe, I don't know, something back here, one of the poppies. What a challenge. And we'll put some daisies back here as well, won't we? So we can have the poppies. Oh, look what we found, a cocoon. Oh, I hope it's not damaged. Oh, I'm going to see if I can just bury it in the corner somewhere and hopefully it's not being disturbed too much and it will still make it into its next life. That's incredible. I'm going to see if I can take care of this and put it somewhere where it can make its way into its next life.
How will it get out when it's a butterfly?
Oh, it'll probably just come out of the cocoon, stay on the edge, wait for a sunny day.
But how will it get out the soil?
Oh, it will. It just will. Nature just has its magical way of just doing everything. But I've seen them before when I've dug. I often find them in the soil, so it's obvious that that's where they choose to be during this time. Interesting. Okay, so we've got some more daisy type things. So where that poppy is, maybe make a sort of triangle. And another one where the gap is. There you go. Yeah, that's lovely. That's it. So maybe one just behind here where the gap is. There we go. And that's it. We're just filling out some gaps, really. You can reach for some of those rocket ones and put them near the front as well. Okay, so the garden at the moment is looking a little bit... we've got plants around in places.
You know these ones?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. These
Yes.
ones, as beautiful as they are.
Hellebores.
Huh?
Hellebores.
Hellebores.
Yes,
right.
they're winter ones. They're flowering now until January,
But
February.
then that's as tall as they get, really.
They
isn't
do,
it?
yeah, yeah.
So,
So you'll see it more. Yeah, you'll see it from here, but it's ground cover sort of thing.
Yeah.
But at least in the winter, the seasons you've got winter,
Yeah.
spring, summer.
Yeah. So spring there'll be something.
Yeah. So
the
winter
summer,
you'll
will there
have
be
these.
something high as well?
Yes, you'll have spring, and we haven't got summer yet. You've got
Okay.
early, sort of April, May. So you've got winter,
Mm-hmm.
in essence.
Yeah, that's okay.
Nice for
well,
Christmas. In fact, I think they're called Christmas something as well.
Yeah.
So you've got this for winter.
Okay.
Then you've got the bulbs, which will be spring,
Yeah.
and then you've got some of these, which will be late,
Late.
sort
After
of
the
summer,
bulbs
but
go
not
down.
autumn. You've got nothing for autumn yet.
Right.
So these ones are around.
Do they go quite tall? Will they be seen from
Yes,
street
you'll
level?
see that from the ground level.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll see these are about 2 or 3 feet high.
Okay.
You know, so you'll see them from ground level.
Okay.
But it's still sparse despite the volume of plants. It seems like. Yeah, so July, August.
Do they grow?
They will fill out.
Yeah.
They will fill out. Yes, this is like July, August. So what we've got there is the Boston ivy. That's going to be a permanent thing. Although winter, it will all die back.
Yeah. Do you need to attach that, or does it do its
It
own
will
thing?
hopefully grow on its own. I'm just going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave it for now, and then maybe if we need to, just initially, but it will start to clamber on the wall. So you've got the Boston ivy at the back. Then for the winter, you've got these
A bed of this.
a bed of these. You know, they will fill with time with winter. You won't see it from down.
Mm-hmm.
Then come spring, you'll have the daffodils. Then after the daffodils, you'll then have these.
Tulips. Be careful.
Oh gosh, did we say daffodils? We
did
clearly
not.
meant tulips. We clearly meant tulips. The tulips will come and look amazing, and then we'll have these daisies. Will be
Again, are they ground level sort of?
No, they'll come up to about 2 or 3 feet high.
When do they come? At the same time?
Again,
as
July, August, so the summer
Okay.
sort of months. But again, before then, if we can buy even more, that's what I was hoping to get yesterday again.
Yeah.
They didn't have any. It was all about Christmas.
More of what,
unfortunately.
those?
These. Yeah, to really,
Yeah, it's a full bed.
really fill that. But, over time, they will fill the space. And then don't forget, in between here, we're going to have the tulips as well. All, planted in between as well. But it'll look very beautiful. Of course it will.
Yeah, it will.
And over time, it'll fill the space more and more.
Yeah, look, you can see this sort of. Can you see this sort of star flower, the colour?
I saw it when I came up, yeah.
Purple. and-
Incredible.
Yes,
Actually,
it's a
very
really-
unusual. So I'm
Yeah,
not sure what
totally.
that is. I have to get my plant ID thing out to
Are you putting a sarcophagus here, or is just those two?
No, there
Oh,
are
yes.
10 in total. So yes, there will be one there.
Yeah.
So that slowly we can
Yeah.
get rid of that. Yeah.
But with this, do we have to really dig? You have to dig it all the way out, really.
And
So
it's a
this-
volunteer plant. Like you see the just
It
on the
just-
edges.
yeah.
It's just going to keep
Attach
coming.
it,
You
so-
will need to really get rid of that. You will absolutely.
I think I'm already not resigned, but I'm almost over it actually already. I think I can live without it now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I've got to that point already.
Oh well, that's good. Then just let it just let the garden just take over its beauty and show off its beauty and do what it's meant to do. Okay, so including the bulbs, we have hundreds of plants in here. Some of them which are more or less dormant at this time, I have already planted, and you cannot see the foliage above the soil. Others have got a few leaves, the daisy-like flowers, and I have yet to plant all the different hellebore now, and then all the different tulip bulbs. I have literally hundreds of plants up in this area. I've just added the tulip bulbs, and it looks like a mixed salad, doesn't it? I am going to be very busy planting all these out. So I will let the video run for a little while as I'm starting to plant, but I'll come back to you in a short while. I will be topping this area up with some more compost to cover these plants. We just need to get them into the ground. So we are in the winter, it's December, and it's a great time to get bargains in some of the garden centres because they're making space for Christmas. They need the space for Christmas, so they often get rid of the bulbs at this time. And yes, it'll be the spring bulbs. Some of them, as you can see, are just shot. Some of them are beginning to shoot up, but it won't do the bulb any harm. It's still a very firm bulb with the base, the plate, and it's just beginning to shoot up, but I'm still going to plant those and they will still be viable for the spring. I know that there are some people who really don't like gardening. I totally get it. I think, you know, there was a time when I wasn't bothered either way, really. And but there is so much joy in being in the garden because you get to see in anticipation how your plants do. You plant them now, but you have no idea whether they will take and grow and give you the joy that you expect in the season. But absolutely, we are reliant on good conditions for that to happen. So it's a lovely time of year, the winter, in my opinion, for being in the garden because the air is crisp and it's a season. Sorry. There's a season ahead, of course, if that is the plan. And the winter is time to put to bed some of the plans that may not have worked well for you in the season. But I think as well that when the plants drop their leaves and the gardens are feeling or looking a little sparse, then it's almost like a blank canvas giving you the opportunity to change things that you may not have liked and come back with another plan. So never be disheartened. Winter is necessary for the plants, for nature. It's a necessary season. Though for many, it can be a difficult season because of the celebrations. People can feel alone sometimes. And of course, that's sad. So maybe if you have a friend or a neighbour somebody you know in the community who is alone, see if you're able to find a moment and be with them in any capacity. Go for a walk with them, sit with them, have a laugh. Laughter is definitely a form of medicine as far as I'm concerned. But I know we don't always feel in the mood to laugh. But if ever we are made to laugh, it's definitely a healing process. It's definitely part of healing, I feel. So I'm just randomly planting these flowers and bulbs, and I'll get back to you when I'm done. Okay, so all the plants are planted. What you can see here are just the skins of the tulips, but otherwise they've all been planted. What I need to do now is add some compost on top. Okay, it's a wrap, they say, isn't it? We are done on this sort of balcony terraced garden area. We are done. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.